Beginning in 1996, the Amber Alert system has saved a lot of children and as a whole strengthened law enforcement tools to handle child abduction. The Amber Alert system has been a direct cause of 1,221 children being recovered from kidnappings and uses the community by utilizing personal technology to spread information about the child. The responsibility that the law enforcement and citizens feel and have towards children has proven to outweigh the potential privacy rights being taken away by the Amber Alert notification system by the success of it. The Amber Alert system led to better understanding and communication among law enforcement and the public, along with decreasing child abduction rates in multiple different aspects.
The Amber Alert is a message sent to the public in the area of a child abduction that includes information about the child and the abductor that may be helpful to the public to identify them. These messages can appear on cell phones, radios, highway signs, Facebook, and so many more sources. The Amber Alert is sent out to cell phones through the Wireless Emergency Alert System, which was established in 2008. Amber Alerts instantly galvanize communities to assist in the search and safe recovery of a kidnapped child. Some of the key criteria in a child's case for an Amber Alert to be issued for them is a child age 17 or below has been abducted or suspected to be, the child faces a significant risk of serious harm, injury, or death, and there's sufficient descriptive information available. The Amber Alert all started with the death and abduction of Amber Hagerman. She was born on November 25, 1986, and died January 1996. Her family was visiting their grandparents in Arlington, Texas on January 13th, 7 weeks after Amber turned 9. Amber went to ride her pink bicycle with her younger brother Ricky, who was 5. They always biked around the neighborhood, but that day they decided to bike farther than their normal route and ended up in the parking lot of an abandoned store. Ricky wanted to go home, and Amber said for him to go, and she would just catch up. Little did they know there was a man waiting for this to happen, waiting to abduct Amber. Jimmy Cavell, age 78, witnessed the kidnapping of Amber.
To 911, what are you reporting?
Yeah, I saw a black pickup, and he grabbed a little girl and he took off toward town with her.
Ricky noticed Amber never caught up with him, and later her family went out to look for her, but all they found was her pink bicycle lying on the ground. On January 17, 1996, her body was found in a lake around 4 miles away from the parking lot, and she was brutally murdered. Police suspected that she was kept alive for at least 2 days, and to this day they still haven't found who abducted and killed little Amber.
Diana Simone originally had the idea for broadcasting information about missing kids so civilians could help find them.
I believed from the get-go that this plan would work because I believe in the goodness in people.
She heard about Amber's death and abduction and had the idea that if broadcasters could report weather and emergency alerts, then they could alert people of abductions. They called the Dallas-Fort Worth radio station with the idea.
This is an activation of the Amber Network at the request of the Dallas Police Department.
Although we now see the Amber Alert as a broad system, it started out when citizens in Texas felt responsible for children and wanted to help them.
The PROTECT Act of 2003 will add to administration efforts to create a seamless Amber Alert system. It will strengthen the state and local teamwork led by our National Amber Alert Coordinator.
Here is a chart of child abductions in New York throughout the years. There was a large dip in abductions from 2000 to 2006. These were very important years for the system with the development of technology and the PROTECT Act, helping the alert gain popularity in 2003. As the Amber Alert started becoming more popular, with all 50 states having Amber Alert programs, by 2005, the number of abducted children had gone down on average.
In this chart of FBI-opened child abduction cases, we can see the same decrease of abductions from 2000 to 2006, with 371 cases in 2000 and 203 in 2006. The Amber Alert has also improved law enforcement communication. Law enforcement works with many different groups during an Amber Alert, which improves their communication skills and time.
They will also work with groups like local media broadcasters, departments of transportation, transit police, and the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children.
Through this communication, there is increased public awareness about abduction, which leads to more involvement. When there is a swifter communication, it is easier to identify, locate, and return a child to their lawful location.
This was the last positive thing that could come out of this, was Roman returning home.
Although the Amber Alert has been proven successful, some think that it's not very effective because the alerts are rushed during high-pressure situations, which can cause false alarms. The Amber Alert system utilizes the public. It is only effective when they are involved.
I knew it was the car. So I pulled up against it when I got up to Harvey Street, and I flashed my high beams. The guy pulls up his hood and covers his face.
Benny Correa and his wife Amanda Disley followed him while calling 911.
I'm on Homestead Ave. They're trying to lose me. They're trying to ditch me. The kidnapping.
There's a kidnapping.
Yep.
License plate number they got helped police track down 24-year-old Miguel Rodriguez and Mosia, who appeared to be unharmed.
It has become a moral responsibility driven by the social norm to protect children. Those who deliberately see a child in danger and refuse to help them are judged. The public feels responsible towards children because they see them as vulnerable members of society that need to be protected. There are government positions that hold huge responsibilities during the Amber Alert. The National Amber Alert Coordinator helps state and local officials develop Amber Alert plans. The Public Information Officer has direct responsibility towards the abducted child. They send out information to media and manage a child's personal information during the Amber Alert. Hello, what is your name?
My name is Jeff Trahat.
And what is your role in law enforcement?
I am the juvenile detective of the Youth Services Unit of the Lynn Police Department.
What are your experiences with Amber Alerts?
I've had a few in my career. Mostly they've been domestic related, where a parent that didn't have custody of their child would take their kid unauthorized or from social services, and we'd utilize the Amber Alert on several occasions, and every single time it worked and we were able to get the child back.
And what responsibility do you feel towards the missing children of the Amber Alert?
Well, responsibilities would just be as my job as a police officer, and as a father. We want to get our kids home safe, especially if they were taken and they could be in danger. So that's basically my job.
And why do you feel this way?
Because I'm a dad, and we all want the best things for our kids, and we don't want them to get hurt.
How effective do you think the Amber Alert is based on your experiences?
Oh, it's very effective. It's basically a system that can be shared or utilized online, on TV, on the radio, on the signs on the highways. So basically, you got tens of thousands of eyes out on the road looking for a specific vehicle that's involved in a kidnapping. It can be just within the state, it could be in the region, or the whole country. So it's a very, very important tool.
Thank you. Some people think that the Amber Alert system goes against the Fourth Amendment rights. The alert makes use of the location you're in, which can support the idea that the government is tracking citizens' location at any time. The Amber Alert notification on cell phones can violate privacy rights.
Opponents of the Department of Homeland Security are using this app-generated marketing data for law enforcement purposes. The fact that there are millions of cell phones and cell phone locations in this database makes it one of the larger domestic surveillance efforts that we've become aware of in recent years. It raises a lot of questions among Americans about their privacy and what kind of information corporations are collecting on them.
The alert can also push unwanted information onto people, which violates their right to concealment. These privacy violations can be a big problem because 97% of Americans have cell phones, which means 97% of Americans can get Amber Alerts and experience these violations.